So I'm making a live. I have no subscribers whatsoever. Um, but I have taken a break from social media for about, in terms of Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, things like that. I've taken a break for about a month. I have it on my mirror since September 11th. I've taken a break from social media, and I really was able to reflect a lot personal things I want to do for myself. I mean, aside from working from home since March, I feel like I have a lot more time to dedicate my my focus and attention on things that I've been wanting to do or um, maybe want to try to do in terms of reading more, really practicing mindfulness, meditating more, being still, being silent, um, being appreciative for the moment. Um, and it's actually really insightful because I feel like this time in history of humanity, or at least in my generation, um, it's really important for everybody to just woosah and just reevaluate what they want to do for themselves. And I feel like I've definitely taken that time and taken advantage of utilizing my time wisely. As I get older, I realize that it's not that cliche where when someone says, do not waste your time, that's true. Life is not promised. Things can happen. Something can happen to me in the next minute on this live. And there's so many people, even myself, sometimes that look into the future or, think about tomorrow or the next hour, or even the next minute and not enjoying the moment and being present. And I've taken this time during this quarantine to really be present. Um, I've always had a curiosity for the truth. Even I would say it came about in middle school, when social media really was um, prevalent in my life. That's around the time I was doing MySpace and all those things. So I was heavily on social media and all, well, I guess when it was starting up, because social media really didn't pop off till after 2001 when the terrorist attacks happened. But that's a whole nother conversation. Um, but yeah, like social media just really, it's just really a distraction. And, I've taken a lot of time to distance myself from the superficial, third dimensional way of thinking in life. And I'm good. Like, I'm realizing who's my friend, who's in my corner, even family, you know. Of course, my laptop's about to die. This is so annoying. I should have prepared for this live that no one's going to see because I have no subscribers. Hold, please. Oh, my heating pad and my stuffed animal. I'm 26 with a stuffed animal. All right. So as I was saying, let me get the lighting. One day I may get on my YouTube shit and really just have the aesthetics on. Fully keys. But yeah, as I was saying, it wasn't until back in the day where I was really involved in social media. But nowadays it seems like it's just a second nature to us. And I want to get away from that. I really want to tap into my higher self. But yeah, as I was saying, look, I just started rambling. It occurred to me back in middle school that I really wanted to find the truth. I felt that a lot of things that were on the surface didn't make sense. I remember the first time I heard about the Illuminati, and I used to look up Jay-Z and Beyonce's involvement with it, like really be into or really research how the music industry is incorporated in um, in the Illuminati. And having that curiosity, even at that age, I think I was like 11 or 12. I was, rewinding songs from like, metal rock bands, pop stars, hip hop artists, R&B artists, even at that age, it's like, there's an agenda going on. And as I've gotten older, from middle school to being a grown woman, 26, like everything is tied together, yo. Like the music industry is not separated from politics. You know, politics is not separated from sports. Like it's just a lot of things that are connected. And it's really actually despicable and sickening to think. I'm really, as I, I would say in the recent year, I've really been understanding or trying to educate myself more on, aligning your chakras and, mindfulness, as I mentioned before, and, being still and, reaching your higher self, because, a lot of people know what's good for you is really bad for you. What society says is good for you is bad for you. You have, what is it? America Heart Association on their website, they say chicken is great for you. Incorporate that in your diet and make sure you drink milk. Are you kidding me? Chicken is a high on the pH or low on the pH balance, but it's acidic. Meat is acidic altogether, and that's not good for your body. We need to have an alkaline diet. And then milk, that is like liquid pus. Like what? Like, and that's baby calf milk. That's not for us. So it's like these little things that are in plain sight. No one is really tapping in and paying attention. And I've been taking a lot more time to pay attention. Um, I, in this, as I'm speaking about this, my first experience with deja vu was at 9 years old. At that age, I thought, oh, I had a dream that happened to be, in a actual life event that happened the next day. But it wasn't until I would say 2016. Like I've always had deja vu since the age of 9, but 2016, when I decided to study abroad and really just step out of my comfort zone entirely, I've been having deja vu like frequently since 2016. You know, um, my birthday is March 31st, 331. 331 is an angel number. I was seeing that number so frequent since 2016. I would see it in the time. If I'm watching TV, if I'm watching a show, you see 331. If I remember I ordered my dry cleaners and my number was 331. When I did my first marathon 3 years ago, 331 was my runner number. Like it's just numerology and astrology and mindfulness and spirituality. Hope I said that right the second time. Um, it's just really on my soul, on my spirit, on my heart, and my mind. Like, and this was the perfect opportunity and year for me to lock in personally. I know this pandemic has affected everyone on an extremely large scale. But for me personally, as I think about it, as this year wraps up, or as we continue in this chaos and this control, because that's all it is an agenda and it's control. Yo, like I needed this shit. I kept telling myself, especially last year, like, oh, I need to tap in, I need to meditate more, I need to practice what I preach, I need to do all this stuff. And although I am pretty honest with myself when it comes to this lifestyle I'm trying to pursue and actually live continuously, I was bullshitting. You shitting me? Like I actually worked at Complex Networks and being around that was my first taste of being in the media entertainment industry. My first job out of college, first of all. Like right after grad school, I left my startup job that I was working for and started working at Complex in June. And I was just caught up in the whirlwind of that type of environment. And it was cool, whatever, but then, being, laid off in January and then finding my new position, I'm still within a media entertainment entity or industry or company. I'm realizing I got to tap into me because I'm a spiritual entity in a human, having a human experience. And I have to experience life. I have to experience people and not possess these things because nothing is owed to me. These materialistic things and what we are given and what we're supposed to have in society, this is not owed to us. It's not an obligation. It's like we are experiencing this life. Life is but a dream. And I would say it wasn't until, because I had it rough. My teenage years, it was just rough for me. Um, just low vibrations, very I had a lot of depressed I was not a lot of depressed moments. I was depressed for a period of time during my teenage years. And that's when I started to feel, okay, let me listen to this thing that's like this something. If I'm about to do something and then it's like, oh, something is telling me not to do it, let me listen to this something more. And that something is my intuition. That something is the God within me telling me not to do something that this this energy feels before it even happens. And once I really start to tap into, okay, let me not bullshit and let me not brush off the something that keeps telling me not to do it and really tap in. And ever since then, I've really been focusing on just really reaching my higher self. So saying all that to say this, not on social media or any other social media platform. I'm realizing YouTube is still like a social media platform. But what I've been doing with YouTube is educating myself. I've been following like Von Two Cut, So Spiritual, um, or Spiritual Soul. Um, well, no, because his name is Soul Illuminati, but Spiritual Soul. And there's other people that I'm seeing on here. And I'm just like, yo, not only are y'all on the same type of time, but y'all are really on some high vibrational shit. And it's not just them two. It's a mass of people that are on the same type of time. And I think it's really incredible to think that I'm not crazy or I'm not delusional or this is not an illusion to me. This is like real shit. Like I'm not the only one. And I know that this life is what I believe it to be is nothing but a dream. And life is what you make it. These words we speak are spells. These words we speak can cause manifestation. You know, these thoughts we think can create the life that we want or maybe don't want. It's like you wake up, something happens, you say, damn, I'm gonna have a bad day. Then chain reaction, happens. Or, you say something in the law of attraction. Like, damn, I said that a month ago and it just happened now. We are so powerful as spiritual beings having a human experience and we don't even realize it. I actually just deleted my CNN app off my phone a few days ago. I was trying to feel as though I'm staying up to date with the news. The news is bullshit. I've already knew it was bullshit. Even as a kid, I used to always like wonder like why is the news so depressing? Someone's always dying, or there's always some violent thing going on, or something chaotic, or some white collar crime being publicized, and it's just like where is the highlight of positivity and joy and high frequency? And yeah, I just deleted the app the other day and I'm like, first of all, like I said, news is bullshit. But this whole year is shot and every news channel is on a specific agenda. Just because Fox is here and CNN is here, they have the same people feeding them the same shit to post on, post. Donald Trump, the only thing I agree with Donald Trump is fake news, because that is a fact, you know. Um, but yeah, man. Quickly going back to 2016 when I was in South Korea, that's when I really felt like I had an enlightenment. Um, I've slowed down on smoking weed. I really was heavy in that shit after I graduated high school and then college for sure. But like in Korea, what? You can't get a hold of weed. I had a boyfriend at the time and I'm not a cheater, so I wasn't out here entertaining no bullshit. So I wasn't having sex for 4 months and I wasn't smoking. So I was every single day after my first 2 weeks of kind of, the jet lag and, the homesickness, I tapped in and I said, this is an experience I'm going to enjoy and it's a once in a lifetime for me. and I'm still in college and I'm having a study abroad experience as a college student, I'm going to enjoy this moment. And I'm going to enjoy being away from my vices, sex and smoking weed. Man, I was working out. I was so in tune. I was so locked in. And I feel like that's why Korea changed my life. Once the deja vu was coming rapidly, I had lucid dreams every single night in Korea. And the one thing I regret is not writing the dreams down. What I'm starting to understand is that lucid dreams is your subconscious telling you something that is beyond this life that we're living. I believe that, my opinion. But between, all the things I just mentioned and then the lucid dreams, I was like, no, it's something else going on. I swear I can count on one hand, I believe, the multiple times I have had deja vu in Korea. When I came back home, I had crazy deja vu. And it's just like, okay, I've lived this life before. So I have to tap in and realize that I can't take life too seriously. A lot of things that I've written down years ago, hopefully I still have that document, have came to fruition. 2017, I said I wanted to go to graduate school and, save a certain amount of money. Did that. 2018, I said I wanted to start looking for an apartment and saving a certain amount of money. And I have to find a document. I don't want to paraphrase. But a lot of the things that I've done, I've accomplished. I said 2019, I wanted to get my own apartment. Have that. Got my first apartment in February of last year. 2019, or a few years before that, when I was writing this list, 2019, I said I want to have a salary-based job, work for a company. I worked at Complex and now I'm at CBSI. Again, we are powerful beings living having a human experience. And the more time I have off of social media, the more time I have by myself, the more time I have stillness, the more time I speak with God within me and around me, I'm understanding that, it's just more that meets the eye. Now, there's something going on that I'm hearing that there's going to be a solar ray storm or an equinox that apparently happens every 6,000 years that is going to happen in December. And man, I was watching Vontu cut, and a lot of things he was saying, I raised my eyebrow to because I had that type of assumption as well. What if this is like that spiritual rapture? What if this is that thing that, the Bible has been talking about? Now, granted, the Bible is man-made, written, but you can't look at the Bible as if it's literal. You have to have a very mature understanding with it. You have to break it apart. It's kind of like Morse code with the Bible. You know what I'm saying? And think about it, climate change. It's getting hotter on the earth. If this solar ray storm that we can't control on Earth, but the universe is controlling, happens, solar, isn't that shit hot? Like, are we going to experience some super galactic heat wave that's going to freaking burn people up? You know what I'm saying? Something similar to the book of Revelations and what that talks about. It's just incredible, man. It's just incredible. And I'm just glad that I have this type of discipline and patience and self-control to break away from the third dimensional life that I'm surrounded by and really just tap in. Going back to Korea real quick again, like once I came home, well, at the end of my time in Korea, I was actually a pescatarian. I've been a pescatarian since I was a freshman in high school. 2009, I decided to transition. Because I saw that eating meat was slowing me down in sports. Been a pescatarian since 2009 to 2016. As soon as I came back home, I went vegan. I saw how they were, the Asian culture was preparing seafood. I'm not eating a whole shrimp head. That's gross. I'm not eating fish heads and all that shit, fish eggs, caviar. It was just weird to me. I'm like, okay, I like salmon And I like shrimp with no head. I like lobster with no tail. It's just like, crab meat that's not, all weird and shit. And I was just like, you know what? I don't like that. Maybe I can live life without meat and dairy. And here I am 3 years, almost 4 years later. Also, I locked my hair when I came home, almost 3 years, almost 4 years later. Just really loving my natural self and really separating myself from consuming bullshit. My body is my temple inside and out. I take care of myself inside. What I put in my body will reflect on the outside. So when I'm glowing, it's because, oh, I had that, that hearty salad, or I had that smoothie, or I had, a plenty of water. You see that because of what I do inside. My locks are growing healthy because how I take care of my scalp and what I put inside my body. So it's just like, I feel like God has really, a lot of shit for me is happening. Like, it's just perfect timing, yo. And I hope everyone else is having the same experience. Um, I was just watching some videos about how to prepare for this, possible solar ray storm and what have you. And I'm about to cash out on some stuff for my personal being, my internal wellness. Sea moss, black seed oil, just different necessities, tea lights, because I'm assuming if there's going to be a solar ray storm, electricity is going to go out. What are we going to do? The phone's not going to work. I'm not going to be able to use a laptop. It's like I'm going to need that type of light source. I need to stock up on alkaline waters. I need to stock up. I already have books, which is great. I bought like 10 books over the summer. And I'm almost done reading one of the books that I started. And I want to try to read another one before the end of the year. But yeah, man, I'm locked in. I'm ready. I'm ready to leave this matrix. I'm ready to leave this world. I'm ready to really see what my greatest potential is. I'm tapping into my purpose, and I'm treating myself with love and care and respect. Um, Aside from social media, me being off of social media since the 11th of September, um, I haven't had sex since September, the beginning of September. I've been chilling out eating artificial sweets because although I'm vegan, I'm not plant based, and I would love to get to that level. But I indulge on bullshit sometimes. Like Oreo cookies are not healthy, but they're vegan. Like they don't have dairy in it. So like I indulge on that and different sweets. So I've been chilling out on that. Basically taking a break from my vices and having some type of self-control. So I can't believe it's already like 23 minutes. But saying all that to say this is I'm having a spiritual awakening within, and I'm loving this experience. I'm so used to being by myself and alone that these quiet moments with myself and just always kind of being alone doesn't bother me. I want to invest in more things that are organic and natural. Like I want to get a lamp, one of those crystal lamps, like an actual crystal lamp. I was gonna say UV light, but this UV light is artificial. The sun is natural UV light. But I want to like really invest in more things that are good for my soul and my spirit. You know, I'm blessed enough to say that at 26, I have reached a lot of financial goals, a lot of things in this apartment that don't mean shit when I die, but a lot of things in this apartment that I'm grateful for and humbly thankful that I was able to get for myself. You know, cool. I'm able to buy it, but we're quarantined. We're on lockdown. I can't go anywhere. Shit, half of the stuff that I bought between last year and this year, clothes wise, I can't wear out. Like the fact I'm wearing my gold chain right now is kind of like, for what? It's just like, I need to buy things that I can consume, internally and use externally and feed my brain, educate myself. I'm even starting to realize, going back to me mentioning before, the friends that I have, some of the people that I associate myself with. Don't get me wrong, I have a close group of friends. My girls know who they are. Um, but in terms of other people I decided to associate myself with, they're not on the same vibe as me. I really am a sucker for meaningful conversations. Like one of my really good guy friends, like him and I can talk for hours. Hours. We can talk about something and say, "Oh, well, how does that work? Let's look that up." Or, you know, just having that curiosity about life instead of just saying, "Oh, it is what it is." And it's like having these meaningful conversations and moments with people, you realize who you really need to be around you in order to feed your your being. And I'm realizing there's some people I don't need in my life. I'm realizing there's some people I should speak to more. Um, but overall, whether I love people or the people in my circle, or whether I'm weeding out the ones who don't need to be there, whether family or friends, silence and alone time is so beautiful, and it's priceless, and it's endless. Like sometimes I feel like, well, am I psyching myself out saying that, oh, I need to be around somebody or do something, even if being around somebody is family, or maybe link with one of my friends, even though we're in the midst of this mess going on. It's like, yeah, granted, maybe I can go visit a friend somewhere or what have you, or family, but quiet time. Now that I think about it, like all of my life, I've been on the go. When going to school as a kid, you had to commute to school, sit in a classroom, be around different personalities. Maybe you liked certain people, maybe you didn't. Maybe you meshed with people, maybe you headbutted with others, and just being out in the world consistently. 2020 has allowed us to sit down and do things that we do not normally do on a regular basis because we're so caught up in the commute of the world. I've been able to really tap in so much since I've been here. I really don't want to go. I would love to do a hybrid schedule just to have human interaction with some people and just to be able to utilize, different things I have in here. Like I would like to wear my clothes, although it's materialistic. Don't get me wrong, I want to wear my shit, but ultimately, I like being home. I have a studio apartment and I don't have a desk. Like I'm sitting in my bed right now and this is how I do my work. Although technically I really don't like laying down for work, but it is what it is. One day I want to get a little desk to sit up and have a little station, but I'm good. I like being alone. Like it's crazy. Sometimes, I speak to my family and they're like, "Oh, why don't you want to get a roommate?" Or, "Oh, why did you do this?" And it's like, well, for one, people judge you by themselves. And, I had a lot of people like, "Oh, can you afford that?" Don't count my pockets. I'm good. I wouldn't jump out there, if I couldn't do it. A smart person learns from their mistakes. A wise person learns from others. So I'm going to make sure I put myself in a position where if I make a move, it's going to be my best move. So yeah, I can afford living on my own. That's why I'm doing it. And it's like, yeah, I enjoy being by myself because I've faced my demons and I've, confronted different things that I tried to hide, especially being older now and being mature and reflecting on things that happened to you with an evolving mind. You start to cope with it and accept it more. And now I'm at a space where, I've had my conversations with people family, friends who have done me wrong or whatever. And that's given me closure in a sense, but also tapping in with myself and facing things, checking myself, knowing I was dead ass wrong in a situation. Like, okay, you could have done that differently. Taking accountability and responsibility for what I could have done differently in situations that are no more. Situations in terms of friendships or relationships. And I'm grateful for this moment. I'm so grateful for this moment. And I just hope everyone else is tapping in. Whatever's happening at the end of the year really happens, I just hope that I'm well prepared for it. I feel like I've been really tapping in and preparing for it. I can truly say This year alone, I've really tapped into my spiritual being and my higher self. Um, and I'm fucking with it. Like I was looking at, I'm so mad at myself. Like I didn't take pictures of my tattoos the day I got it. There's some tattoos I took a picture of the day I got it, but mostly I didn't. But most of them I didn't. But when I got my chakra, I have my chakra tattoo on my back. I got that 5 years ago. And that's when I first was saying that I was introduced to the spiritual realm of life because I'm straying away from religion. I'm straying away from religion. I'm more of a spiritual being. Religion is to keep us controlled. Let's talk. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk. Because there's so many people saying, sidebar, so many people saying, oh, you're going to hell if you have tattoos. You're going to hell if you have piercings. Or you're going to hell if you have, premarital sex. Or you're going to hell if you, just going to hell for all different things. But there's so many people going to hell who may not have tattoos, but don't eat right and eat like shit. Or maybe didn't have premarital sex and is a virgin, but has the nastiest, ignorant, disgusting attitude of all time. Your spirit is rotten, sis. Although your pussy not, or sir, So it's like religion, I'm off that. I grew up in a church. I'm off that shit. I'm off that controlled way of living. I'm off that Sunday's best. You got to look your best for God. And didn't God say, come as you are? But as I was saying, 5 years ago, I got my chakra tattoos, and that's after I had my religion 101 class. And that religion 101 class really helped me because I was like, okay, this shit is ill. Like, all these religions are tied into one. They all pray to one entity. They all believe in one type of source that gives them life and gives them, the spiritual awakening and abilities. You know what I'm saying? So, 5 years ago, I wasn't on this time that I'm on now. I just started to get out of my depression around that time. Once I got to college and had my freedom and independence, I was really, I was starting to get better, starting to get better. And after that class, I was like, let me tap in more and see what the spirituality is really about. Fast forward to 2020, I'm locked in, man. And this year would never be like society would never be the same after this year. And I truly believe more than ever that it's the last days. There's something going on in the universe that we cannot see. And I'm just waiting for it to show its face. But this is my first live stream. I doubt anyone will see this or watch this. I just wanted to make something that was on my mind. And I'm just ready for whatever life has coming next. So, yeah, if someone does see this, shout out to you. If you watched the whole thing, you made it to this part, shout out to you. Have a blessed night. Tap in.